want of a nail, the horseshoe was lost. For the want of the horseshoe, the horse was lost. For the want of the horse, the rider was lost. For the want of the rider, the message was lost. For the want of the message, the battle was lost. And for the want of the battle, ladies and gentlemen, the empire was lost. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today, I shall be taking you all on a journey with me to explore perfectionism. What is perfectionism? How do you define it? Is the definition acceptable to all, or does it vary? Do we need perfectionism in our life? Do we need perfectionism in our society? If yes, then to what extent? If yes, then when? All the time? Let's explore. How do we define perfectionism? No volunteers. How do we define perfectionism? Perfectionism can be defined as the need, as the tendency, as the wanting, as the yearning to do everything precisely, flawlessly, as perfectly as possible, down to the most minute detail. That's perfectionism. Now, on the very definition of perfectionism, if you paraphrase it in layman's language, it will basically translate to doing things really, really good. That's what it will translate to. Doing something extremely flawlessly can basically be nerfed down to saying doing something very good. But there are two sides of the story. If you Google the term perfectionism, you will see that there are two sides of this battle. There is a side in which people love and adore and are obsessive about perfectionism, in which people take perfectionism as a religion, in which people take perfectionism as godliness, as the purpose of life, as the peak that mankind can reach, and as the sole purpose of life. But on the other hand, against this entire positivity around perfectionism, on the other hand, against this side in which perfectionists take pride in being called a perfectionist, there's another side in which perfectionists are called mentally ill, in which perfectionism is called a mental obsession, a craze, an obsessiveness, a mental disorder. And branch terms like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and obsessive cleaning disorder, such branch terms are thrown around to prove the point that perfectionism in reality is an obsessiveness. So which one is it? Is perfectionism good? Or is it a mental illness? Let's analyze. We have two sides of the story. Let's weigh the facts. Let's see which side weighs heavier, which side weighs lighter. When you consider the goods of perfectionism, what positive outcomes perfectionism can give you, you realize the very, very obvious fact that the final product created by a perfectionist, the final product morphed out of perfectionism, will be perfect. It will be flawless. It will be a product in which the most minute detail is attended to. And that final product will be exactly something which a perfectionist takes pride in and is proud to say that I am the creator of this extremely perfect thing. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's what perfectionism is about. This is why perfectionists take such pride, such effort, and take so many troubles to go through, putting in their so much efforts just to have that bliss when the final product emerges. They can say that, oh, it is indeed perfect. Now, most of our facts that weigh in favor of perfectionism relate to the final product, the front end. In contrast, most of the facts that weigh against perfectionism are at the back end. Why do people call perfectionism mental illness? Why do you call it obsessiveness? One simple answer: because they have seen a perfectionist working. They have seen a perfectionist in their native habitat. They have seen how an artist locks himself into a room for days, weeks, or months just to get that 1 second of inspiration. They have seen the length a photographer can go to, maybe wait for days, hours, months, years to capture that perfect sunset. They have seen the amount of time and energy and mental drain that can go into when creating this product of perfectionism. So the back end and the front end are the two stories of this side. So I ask, what is the solution? Should we just leave everything as it is? Maybe not want anything to be perfect, just want to get work done for the sake of getting work done? Or should we sacrifice our time and energy and effort and mental peace and our social relationships and more for product that is fun, that is perfect? The truth, ladies and gentlemen, is that there are only two real currencies in this world. There are only two real currencies in the world. It's not the dollar, it's not the real, it's not the yen. It is time and energy. That's the only thing that is not swappable. That is the only thing that for us unfortunate mortal beings is limited. Hence, the solution lies in balance. As stated by the poem, and as before the grammarian takes note, the reason the grammar of that poem is a bit off is because it's directly translated to Chinese. That's why. But the poem signifies how if what is at stake is the entire empire, then you cannot mistake the misplacement of a single name. But if what is at stake is merely nothing, you're playing video games for fun, not everything has to be pitch perfect. So in conclusion, everything relies in the balance. What you are doing is, how significant is this work? Is this a random project I'm doing with my friends for the sake of fun? Let it be. Is this something that can turn around your life and your career and your academic career? Maybe some assignment that's crucial for your results? Then put in all time and energy that you have and morph out that final product. And be proud to say that I am a perfectionist. That will be all from my side. You have been a great audience. Thank you.